Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you're here with us. So, what we are going to be doing today is a collective tarot read, a deep dive in that way on a few different topics that will cover the media, if they're actually being truthful with us now, if there has been a switch. We also have a couple different requests as to the new financial system allowing for the younger generation to have a little bit more wealth, regardless of family connections. And we also have another one about where exactly are we at the age of Aquarius. Now, I think we'll just kind of start with the media one, and then we will flow into whatever spirit wants to bring us. So welcome to Source Energy Collective. We have Micheline here, Carol, Jerry, Barb, and Alyssa. I'm going to open up the floor and let everybody pop on and say hi. Everybody say
Good
Blessings,
morning.
everybody.
Hey.
Everyone.
Hello.
all right. So what we're going to start on with the topic that we're going to start on is the media. Now, what I'm thinking and what I've heard and what I've seen actually is like the media will kind of go against their funders. We all know that media, like the CBC, I think it's called CBC, is government funded. In that way, it's a conflict of interest in my mind, right? If they're getting their money to actually be there from the government, obviously they're going to want to keep that money and do the media, the stories aligned with them keeping their money. Conflict of interest. So I don't know if anyone has any examples of how the media has potentially flip-flopped from that being into something else. If you do have an example, if you could share it with the collective, that would be great. Hello. Does anybody have anything?
Well,
Sorry
I
about
know
that.
I have noticed that the media seems to be telling a few more truth stories versus just blowing smoke. So anyways, I would like to know if we are starting to change. And I pulled only two cards. I got the Fool and the Shaman, which is the Hierophant. So in my deck. So I think we are starting to see a bit of a new beginning from the media. Anybody else?
Well, on my end, I have the Eight of Wands, and you see all of those horses going in one direction. So there's quite a bit of energy there coming at us. And on this is the influence of the angels tarot. And look, there's an angel with a clarion, you see? So no, I think that what Barb said is very accurate. Then I've got the Emperor. And I was thinking about Trump. Trump is saying a lot of things right now. He's just come back from Davos. I think there was a little bit this week. You kind of deep dived on this, didn't you? And yes, I think he's letting out quite a bit about the elections that were stolen in 2020 and how things had been executed. And then he went on to say that people were executed. And I have a Three of Swords, but look, she's a little bit different. I see her as, the swords are not in the heart. You see, they're falling. So and also the Three of Swords is not always about sadness. She's carrying her heart. Like if you look, you have to be careful here on YouTube because nudity, but there's not too much there. She's kind of covered, but you see she's covering one of her breasts there. There's quite a bit of red. But what I see as an interpretation is that, yes, I think that there is going to be some shocking news that's going to sadden a lot of people. but it'll soon be over. The swords are dropping. That's dropping of information. And so I think that if you see, I'm not paying close attention to the news as you are, not as much. And so, but I did see some clips on Trump and Elon Musk and all that. And yes, for sure, things are shifting in a very good way. We've been waiting a long time.
Awesome. That
Awesome.
is such good news. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I'd love to go actually. Yeah, the media, of course, we know everybody, nothing nothing is believed unless the TV tells them, right? So they're the gatekeepers of essentially of information that comes through. So they've been gatekeeping for a while. They use a lot of emotional language to build trust as well. Like a lot of people still put a lot of trust into them. But they've been holding back on a lot of the truth that's been going on. And a lot of it is because it's strategic. Like they don't want to, they got to be careful with how much truth is coming out. So it's being filtered through, right? There is because they don't want the backlash. They don't want to be caught in their lies. They don't want to, have to be the brunt of everything that's been going on, right? There's paid advertisers. There's all kinds of Queen of Pentacles. So there's lots of things at stake. A lot of shareholders. There's a lot of money involved in media. Like let's face it, it's part of the manipulation of the mind. But we are being moved into a new direction with the media. So Barb, your intuition is right. They are starting to little snippets of truth is what I'm getting. It is moving that way.
Here, I've got my Queen of Swords to support what you just said there, Jerry.
Thank you. Oh, right on. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's what I got.
So it just kind of came through that one of the media things that have happened is Elon Omar was on TV with the media, and the anchor was asking her all these questions. And in this clip, um, the anchor, I guess, got this source of like truth and this awareness, and was like, "You are what Nick Shirley said." I'm getting goosebumps. Right. So even though Elon Omar was doing her whole talking around in a circle, not saying anything, and usually the news anchors on most of these MSMs are amplifying that kind of confusion and agreeing, making other people in the collective being like, oh, yeah, that's true. Right. But this time it didn't happen that way. So that is a firm kind of like incident where some truth was told from the news anchors. So that's really positive. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I get my news from the Rebel News and independent journalists and live feeds and all that stuff, right? And then even then I search within my intuition, my body, my what my body feels like to see what the truth is. And I think we still have to do that despite whether or not we are seeing a shift in the media, because it's such a new shift. It can go either way right now. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything along the lines? Carol, you haven't pulled. Alyssa.
Yeah, for the question, I got the Ten of Swords. So basically, oh, is it going to show? I might need to change something here. So it's definitely the end of the way it's been in the past.
Ooh, I love that. Stabbed in the
Definitely
back.
going to be a big change. So there is change happening, death of the old and rebirth of the new. And then as two other people got Queen of Swords. So the truth is going to communication and truth is going to be spoken more, but not the complete truth. Not always, not 100% of the time, but it is going to be more and more. But the clarifying card is Queen of Cups. And that is
Wow.
discernment of all of the people watching news or using their own discernment on what they using their own intuitions and resources to come up with what's true with them. I
Beautiful.
guess is what that would be. I can't really spit out what I'm
No,
trying to
that's
say,
it.
but I think you guys know.
Because I got the Ace of Cups too. So that's exactly it. Yeah, the intuition for sure. That's what it's saying. Awesome, Carol. Hmm. Alyssa?
Hey, okay. Okay. So I got the Six of Wands. To me, I mean, I feel like I view this as the media because it's like they're like a high and mighty, like they're really carrying carrying the false information. Because my next card was a Two of Wands and it was in reverse, so I took this as like the collective, like people not in media trying to get the truth. Maybe they just haven't looked for the answers, or maybe they're questioning it right now, so it could possibly turn around. Um, and then I got a Ten of Swords as well. Um, to me, it's like maybe they're trying to get to the truth, or they who maybe whoever this person is, maybe it's them right here, and it's like trying to hide the truth, but it just comes out anyway. So
And 10 is also a completion. And Barb, I think, or no, Carol, who got the 10 of Swords? Alyssa and Carol,
Oh,
who think.
and look,
Yeah, yeah. A lot of us
it,
got the 10
I
of
just turned
Swords.
my deck and that's what came.
Yeah, see, three people got the 10 of Swords. 10 is completion. 10 is definitely completion. It's the door closing of the new cycle, of the old cycle and coming into the new. And if you look at the cards, it's like definitely a ending. Like it doesn't even seem like a very good ending. Sorry. It seems like a
Well, I have something to say about this because the card that accompanies my Ten of Swords is the Two of Cups. And I'm of the opinion that they were taken over a very long time ago, a very long time ago. That Trump is, well, if you believe in the positive forces and people looking out for us, because we needed somebody who knew what was happening before we knew, right? And I think that they took it over and they're letting it flow. It's like there was a dam and now they're taking the bricks one by one and they're letting the flow of this information go. And they're doing it, the Nine of Swords that Jerry pulled? For me, is that for sure that some people, part of the media, are very scared. But also, they do not want to scare the public too much
Yeah.
because it will be destabilizing. Imagine if you believe that everything on television is real and true, and you're about to find out that 90% isn't. The best lies are told with 90% truth, okay? But the 10% that is deceiving will twist everything around. And so I think that the gap between the distortion and reality is going to become smaller and smaller, just very gradually. Not
Yeah.
to, so that is of my opinion, is that
I I wholeheartedly agree. And the ten also represents the in between, right? The ending and the beginning.
yep.
and the
So
fact that how many of us were four here now with Ten of Swords?
yeah,
That,
there was a lot of 10 of
that
Swords for sure.
Yeah. So that's good news. That's great. What's Barb? Barb, did you have anything on this particular poll, or did you already go?
I went first. But I did post a couple extra clarifiers. They're going to start putting down their burdens, and eventually we'll be moving into a sun period.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's a beautiful card. That dragon there, that's a gorgeous card.
yeah, it's pretty special.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the growth underneath too, like sunflowers
Oh, it's just awesome.
and nature. So, yeah, beautiful.
So
I'm gonna get that.
I'd love to pull on whether or not the media has been taken over. That totally
Mm,
resonates with me. It's like a slow drip along with like first contact. It's like a slow drip. You know those drones? Remember the drones, right? So that I don't know why that's coming in right now, but the drones and the actual galactics were behind the drones. The drones were sent in to muddy the waters. That's exactly what the media does. It muddies the water with the truth behind it, the 90% truth and like the all the lies, right? So yeah, I'd love to pull on whether or not we are in slow drip because that's what came through with the chemtrails. The chemtrails have already been taken over, but it's a slow drip to taken over in the way that it's beneficial to humanity, but it's the slow drip of like letting humanity catch up. But I'm just going to read my cards on the media switching, and I got the Ace of Cups coming out as I was shuffling. And this to me is full on intuition, right? This to me is the collective going and seeing the light within that. Yes, it's a slow drip. Yes, we don't want like mass chaos. And in that way, like that makes me a little bit angry. It's like, no, let's just bring it on. Let's just rip the band-aid off and let's just do this. Right? It's aggravating. It's like so slow. It's like it's hard to watch, but the intuition needs to catch up, which I think that's what needs to happen, right? Because if you get shown all these things, then it's going to overwhelm the nervous system.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna, and when your nervous system is overwhelmed, you're not able to tap into the highest vibration of the cups, which is intuition, which is emotion, because the emotion is standing in the way. But you know what? Like, this is nice for me because rip off the band-aid, girl. Like, it's going to come off a little bit faster, right?
mm,
A little bit faster. And it's going to bring us into the Four of Cups. It's going to put in new structures. People are going to put in new structures for themselves once they get this awareness that there has been that like devastating 10% of like lies. They're going to put in a new structure on their own little world, right? Turn off that TV, start listening to their intuition instead of listening to what you're being told on the TV. Because honestly, when I was listening to Carney's speech, I felt like, oh, it was the weirdest feeling. It felt like my brain was turning into mush. And it really did. It was weird. And then it took a lot of inner strength to be like, no, that is not happening, right? But if you're not aware to do that and to keep your sovereignty while listening to this hypnotizing, like roundabout things that they're saying and like that don't even say anything, then you're like, oh, it's like that cartoon character with the birds flying around your head, right? That's where they want humanity. But look, so this is the Seven of Pentacles, right? All
mhm.
those things, all those agendas, all those lies, all the fog, all the confusion is in the tree. And her basket is empty. The Seven of Pentacles doesn't usually talk to me like this, but this one is like, that's what it's saying to me now. So it's in the tree. She's not listening to all the lies, all the fog, all the
Don't pick
things.
that fruit.
Don't take the root, right? Seven
Yeah.
is also
Don't.
going within. Seven is also going within, putting more strength on your inner knowing rather than your external knowing, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah. Did you guys want to flow with it and pick on where the media is, who's got control of the media? We can do that.
Okay,
Deep dive.
if I can blab a little bit here,
Yeah.
you know what, Marcia, when you were talking there, you kept saying about slow drip, and every time you said slow drip, I thought of this really horrible line that I saw in this YouTube video, and I'm gonna repeat it here, but I also just want you guys to know that What I'm thinking is going on, because there's been a lot of YouTube channels that were canceled that have been reactivated, and it does seem like there's a lot more conspiracy oriented videos coming out. The ones we saw like more like
Ooh.
10 years ago that are even more detailed. And so when you kept saying slow drip, I saw this headline where they talked about the frazzle drip, and it was
Oh,
just like, oh, gross. And so every time he kept saying slow drip, that frazzle drip kept coming up, and I was like, oh, disgusting. I don't really want to talk about that though, Spirit. But it is something that when the collective really, protecting against what the public is going to be able to handle, because it will be very disembobulating and it will take people off their centers. And that's kind of the point for some of the forces that want people off their centers, so that will be used in a way as well. So that is this the splitting. How much truth can you really handle? And where are you going to? What are you going to do with that information, right?
Exactly. I think that humanity can handle a lot more than what is being told, like it's always like that. We don't want anyone, we don't want mass chaos. But what's happening out there right now? Honestly, what's happening out there? There's mass chaos out there, right? Like there's people fighting with each other. I'm sure there's different degrees of it. But and it just seems like very manipulative too. It's like, oh, give them what they can handle, like it's just ridiculous. I don't like it personally.
Seven of
yeah,
Swords.
that Seven of Swords, that manipulation, the
It's
strategy,
so manipulative. Like, stop with it. Just
and
bring it.
paired with strength.
Yes, we are stronger than we think than they whoever they are like thinks that we are, right? Like we have been through this for so many years, and I know some light workers that are old, right? And like I feel so bad for them, and I'm getting up there too, and I don't want to live like this for life. I just want it to happen.
Okay. Um, Carol already knows this, and Barb, I think, already knows this, but I'll see if the rest of you guys can pick up on what this means. So every time Trump finishes a tweet, he usually finishes it with um, "Thank you." Where does it say? Here, he signs off with "Thank you for your attention to this matter." So what do you guys, what do you guys think the spiritual meaning is to that? Thank you for your attention to this
Thank
matter.
you for the energy that you use to create this reality.
Right.
Thank you for feeding this reality with your awareness.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly. So let me go a little further, if I may. So there is, like, I think Barb mentioned the Palladians and her card there with the star card. I love that she brought that forth, because that immediately brings it back to that we have co-creation going on here. So
Mm.
there is, where do our thoughts come from? Who are we aligning with? Are we aligning with forces of goodness? This universe is built upon goodness. So if the more that we adopt the willingness to accept reality for how it is, and then not be a victim to it, and to cultivate more goodness, the more support we're getting. I don't even know where all that came from, but thank you. So yeah, so we're not victims. There is co-creation going on. There is forces that don't want us to do well, and they do align with certain avatars, and we starting to recognize that. I think we saw some sunglasses going on some of the world leaders recently, and Marsha's laugh. Yeah, she knows. And so I mean, we've seen like Stranger Things. We've seen the whole black eye thing right in that movie Stranger Things. I've been watching this weird series a little bit with a little bit of interest, called Fallout
No.
on Netflix, and it's got a lot of little interesting truth bombs in it too. So there's a lot going on. Just be aware we're putting our energy. Thank you.
I did pull on whether or not the media has been taken over by the white hats, the gray hats, the ones that are here helping humanity. I hope they're gray hats, personally, in my opinion. I asked for two clarifiers because I have a spread here, but I just always like the clarifiers are so great. So the Knight of Pentacles, it's of this earth. I'm getting a yes, they are, but it's slower, right? It's not like it is a forward momentum, but it's a slow momentum. Knight of Pentacles is quite slow, but it is moving us into the new, no, oh no, this is the Ten of Cups. It is moving us into completion, right? A completion of the new world. And then also it is being, I don't want to say manipulated. It is being slowly guided. Is that better?
Good save.
It's being slowly guided, but it's got a lot of strength to it, right? Um, the Six of Cups. So this is really for humanity. This is really for the unity. The reason why is because they don't want us to get even more crazily divided, you know? And it's going to bring look at this. Wow. These are really great cards. Look at all these cards. So what do you guys think? Has the media been turned over? Do you guys?
Oh,
Is that the Four of Wands there too?
This
yeah.
is the Four of Wands.
So
This is the Six of Cups. Like they're all my
okay.
really, really great like remembrance cards. It's like my really great like family love cards, the Ten of Cups, right? Um, it is also not supposed to be seen, all of it. We are still having our masks on, right? That's for a reason. And I'm getting I'm getting a word coming through patience. Patience.
Yes.
Um, and then the Queen of Wands, right? And just know that this is happening in the background. It is slow for a reason. This is slow for a reason, right? And the Knight of Pentacles, slow for a reason. So in this, the energy of my cards, the media has been changed over, but it is a slow kind of feed because they don't want us mass divided anymore. Some people still need to some people just need to be babied, I guess. Aggravating, but yes, it's true.
Well,
Anybody?
as you were, sorry. No, as you were pulling, I got the Two of Wands. And so that's that gateway, just like your Four of Wands. And then the Sun. And it's quite bright on this card, right? So again, just like Barb, you know, we're very privileged here in a way because we figured some parts of it. You know, no one is going to have every part of the truth figured out at the same time. But there's a consensus here with this question anyway. So we are privileged to some of this information that helps with calming the nervous system. And to keep that in mind when the world is going crazy, that there's a glass ceiling. And that comes from Brad Johnson. He said that, and that really resonated with me. There's a glass ceiling. So every time I start kind of, I get my moments like everybody else, and I start thinking, oh, that glass ceiling, and some things need to be seen. And in some countries, it's the chaos is going to be heightened, especially in Europe. Oh my goodness. And in the Middle East. I mean, in Europe, there's so many people. When you think of Canada, we're only 40 million, but it's vast. There's a lot of land. But when you think of cities, 2 million people in one, how many are they in London alone? Because Salish is in London. That's a lot of people with a lot of thoughts, with a lot of energies, all different, colliding with one another. Like I don't live that here where I live. And so, because we're privileged with this information and we can keep calm, we also have I feel I have a responsibility in keeping myself calm for the collective. That's because I have this information. I'm privileged with this information. It's not coming to me out of nowhere. And I that's how I feel at the moment today. Anyway.
Yeah, right on. And you know what? You're right. There is chaos, but there has to be a stirring of the pot. There has to be a reconstruction. So, like when Marcia was saying about white hats, black hats, and that they're maybe gray, as Brad would say quite often, they're gray hats. Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, you know what? It's all about us having this experience and wanting to experience reality from disempowerment, from victimhood. So this is the only planet I'm aware of that has such a vast amount of diversity and polarization that can happen. So it's it is like it is like a big massive soap opera, and it's beautiful, really, in a lot of ways. We all like a little bit of drama in our lives. Not nothing too crazy, but we like a little bit of controversy. Like especially, you can probably see that I'm a Red Sox fan, so I like a little bit of you know a little bit of passion in my sports team a little bit, but I also know enough to not to harm anybody over it. you know, if we can keep it civil, right? Keep our beliefs. Not you don't believe in my team. That's actually a huge problem. Is that when we do identify so strongly with anything, there's always going to be a polar opposite pointing a finger back at us. So it's best to not so strongly attached, and maybe that's why everything is going through the way things are going through right now, because we have become so rigid in some ways that we need to have a shake up, live more. I mean, really, we all want to live closer to the earth, right, Barb? We all want to have a greenhouse, right, guys? We all want to have the ability to travel freely without all the border restrictions and everything. And we all want to have. We're kind of tired of this old game now. I think we're starting to all see that, but we don't want to get beat down to that we give up into their because they want to create war. They want to create phantom. That's what some of these off-worlders want. They love to see the fighting. They want to continue with that agenda, and a lot of us now are just gotten to the point now where we're matured enough now where we don't want to fight each other, and we want harmony now. And but they're going to keep. It's like green eggs and ham. How about now? Will you want to fight now? How about we do this? You want to fight now? You want to fight now? It's best to just not. It's like non-participation. Never just don't go onto their playing field. Start to anchor ourselves in a different way. Go into the decentralized systems. Because what they really count on is us supporting that system, and if we can walk away from it, that's probably be the best thing.
The theme of mind control that really comes up very strong when you're talking, because they're using our thoughts to create the world they want. And that's the war we're in, right? So that's the thing, is you have to unplug. And when you're in that chaos, and I feel for a lot of people, I can see, I mean, if you're living in a country where there's actual war or there's famine, or I mean, you don't have time to start looking. You're in a survival mode. As when you're in survival mode, you're not really in control of your life. It's hard. And if you're worried that your kids are not going to eat tomorrow, you're not thinking about, oh, I'm just going to work on my meditation, work on myself and my traumas. No, you're living a traumatic life. And that's what we need to calm that down so that people have a chance at seeing life differently. When you're like, anyway, I'm speaking of experience, because when I was in some sort of survival mode, I'm not thinking about, I'm not saying I didn't go to meditation because, well, I mean, I'm kind of wired that way, but I'm saying that I wasn't really working on myself in a real way all the time, because my mind is on a bunch of other things that need to be taken care of now. And I think that's the media, that's what they've been feeding forever, is keeping us in survival. And now, little bit by bit, people are going to say, oh, maybe there's a different way of seeing things. Maybe we're going to make different decisions about our life, like decentralized financing, like eating better and stopping the junk food. Like it's very gradual. I think most people by now know that junk food is junk food. But then
Yeah, but
there's that
it's still extremely addictive, though, right? It's like
that's what I wanted to say is
it's
that
like
they've made it addictive. So even people
yeah.
know they shouldn't be eating what they're eating. Like for me, I'll tell you, it's potato chips. I can eat tortilla chips and stop after 10, but
What kind
potato,
of
like
potato chips?
the kettle, the what are they called? Kettle chips? Oh my goodness. The salt and pepper kettle chips or the sea salt. I can eat the whole bag. I
So
have to
wrong.
stop myself. To stop myself. I have to hide them. But you know,
The all dressed are way better. The all dressed are like right, Barb.
okay, we're all on the same wavelength about chips here. You know,
With a little
but
bit of that cream cheese, and we're laughing.
oh,
Hmm.
anyway, that's my bit for today. Yeah, and my card is judgment, you know. So,
I
Don't
got
judge
that
your,
one too.
don't judge ourselves. I like it.
no, and be discerning.
What's the topic that you guys are talking about right
We
now?
were still
Are you
talking about media and mind
you're still
control.
talking? Oh, did you flip on to mind control?
No.
Okay.
Micheline just started talking about it because it does feed into each
Let's
other's.
pull on mind
And
control
potato
because as
chips.
you were talking about it, Micheline, I was NPC kept coming into my head. So I'm shuffling NPC mind control. Do you guys want to
Can
pull?
I say my other cards
Yeah,
about whether
yeah.
about whether we have shifted? Because I
Mm.
got some interesting ones. I got the Three of Wands in the past,
Oh,
but when I looked at that card, I didn't get that meaning. I got more of the deletes, looking down at the little people.
mm,
And anyways, they're up for judgment. I got the Page of Wands, which I thought was very interesting too, because it's kind of a social media type card. And I love how, it's on fire. So it is transforming, it's burning, like the old ways are burning. And then I ended up getting I got nothing but aces. I got the Ace of Swords, so new thoughts. It's not going to all be Ace of Pentacles, so it's not all going to be based on money. Like the government's not going to get away with just paying and paying and paying for
Yay.
propaganda. And I also got the Page of Swords. So again, thoughts, but I love the butterfly on top of this guy. So it's the thoughts are transforming in the media and on the news. I got the Ace of Cups. We're gonna have better emotions. There's gonna be feel good stories. And then
Wow.
I got again the Fool. And then moving forward, the Chariot.
Hallelujah. I
Yeah,
love it.
so I just
Thanks,
had to
Barb.
share that real quick. I thought that was just bizarre to get three sets of cups.
Carol's unmuting
Okay.
too now. I think Carol's going to go too.
Yeah, as far as the media being taken over, there are changes. It's the Empress in reverse. But what we have to remember too is that we need to release ourselves from our belief systems and some of our limiting um, ideas. We have to also be willing to unbind ourselves and make changes as well that goes along with that and really get control, Queen of Cups, of our emotions. And so a lot of it has to do with our part in it, with the media and everything. And then once we determine Four of Pentacles, what is of value to us, that's what we will hold on to.
I don't have a question, Jerry. I just I know everybody wanted to go into mind control because it kind of plays into what the media says, how they do it.
Yeah.
But as Micheline was talking, I was shuffling the deck as she was talking, and NPC kept coming through as a download, like fairly loudly. So we can shift on to wherever you want to take this. We're just flowing with spirit right now. If you guys want to do mind control or anything else, I already shuffled for NPC.
Well,
So
let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
I'm going to do NPC to cut the deck.
Yeah.
All right, we have the Chariot, the Justice, the Seven of Pentacles.
So the question is
I didn't have a question. It was
are
just NPC. And as Micheline again was talking, it was like what was coming through was that there are a lot of people, I guess you want to call them, because there's a lot of different perspectives on what NPCs are. Are they people that are unable and to see all this, to expand in that way? Are they like actual envoys put here to manipulate? I'm not pulling on that, right? I'm just pulling on the fact that there are NPCs that are here because like we are creatures of, I don't even know the word, but if like the surrounding people think in a way, a certain way, everybody's going to go in that way, right? So the NPCs are here in that way to keep us kind of believing the media, keep us in line with where they want us to think, where they want our feet to go.
oh no.
Um,
No.
so
Um
I guess this,
NPC.
I guess
Marshall,
this
what's an NPC?
a non-player character. So somebody that is either a person that doesn't have the ability and has contracted to not expand into knowing what is going on. So staying in the 3D world, not wanting
okay.
to go into their intuition. Or somebody, I've also heard that a non-player character can be like a robot with like a person, like looks like a
Okay.
person without a soul, right? I don't know if you guys have any other understandings of NPCs.
Marcia, whenever we've done tarot pullings at times, there's been a synchronistic thing that's happened, and as you were talking, you just made me reflect upon. You did this to me, Marcia. You made me you made me reflect upon a show we were watching yesterday called, like I said, Fallout, and it actually had people that were scared that were living down in within the earth, and they one guy got to conclude that his father was created as a clone, and there's been a lot of perspectives that there's been a lot of people cloned in beneath our feet. And when you said non-player character, well, if we break that down, that means non-player personality. So there's a person that's not got any skin in the game, so they're not having any effect on their reality. They're just going along with the program. So they're running on AI. They're literally running on a hive mind of AI
Yes. Oh
until
my God. When you said
right.
hive mind, I was getting the download hive
Yeah,
mind. Holy crap.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's why and as this was coming through, and you're still talking, I'm like, please, my finish so I can just
Always, you can
regurgitate what's coming
always,
through,
yes.
so I can get it out.
You
So
can interrupt
yeah,
me anytime, Jerry.
well, it's a little bit frightening when people really start to go down those kinds of rabbit holes. So, if you want to if you want to look at your cards now and maybe have
One thing I did want to say when you were bringing up cloned was we did do a poll. You guys can look back to everybody watching, look back onto cloned meat. There was a whole thing where this is another time that the media flipped over. They were telling people about the cloned meat being put out in Canada unlabeled. And that got stopped because the media came out with the truth. That was uncommon. The fact that the media came out with the truth, I was like, there's something weird here because I'm not used to it, right? The media telling the truth. I was like, that just made me want to look at it even further. But if they can clone a cow, okay, take away all the programming right now and ask yourself if they can clone a cow, why can they not clone a human? Right?
exactly, and that's kind of the danger that we're in right now because it comes
Uh,
into hybridization to the point where it really screws up nature, and that's what we're going to come to conclude. We were talking about that earlier.
Why can't they? They
because
obviously
they
can.
have already done it. And
Exactly.
there is a company in Quebec called Clone Aid. And
Yes.
I was looking into that as early as 2020.
Yes. And the
And
thing, sorry, Jolene.
I just wanted to say there was a whistleblower. You know, some of these videos, they were all over the place and then they kind of just disappeared. Now they're coming back. I don't know if you've noticed this a little bit.
That's what Jerry was saying. Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a whistleblower and she was going into detail. Parents are coming in, they're asking for children to have this and such of, you know.
Will you try to find that video and put it on our Telegram group?
Oh,
And I,
I'll do my best, but it disappeared. That one is very difficult to find now.
yeah.
It had gone through all the, you know, those underground channels that we were listening to back then that are now actually coming back on YouTube, as Jerry was saying. But
And if you guys have any other things, any other like topics, like don't overflow the Telegram group because like people just tend to stop listening. But if there's something that you want and you think is important for all of us to look at, put it on our Telegram group. And for everyone that's watching, we have a free public Telegram group. And again, these guys are my rocks, right? In this crazy, crazy world, crazy, exciting, like adventurous world, these guys ground me back into my center. So, this is an invitation for you guys to reach out to us to join our free public Telegram group where we support each other, share esoteric knowledge, and share all our links. And you can come to any of these daily Zooms that we have. But okay, back to the clone. It's like we know that they can clone, right? They can't put a spirit in there. They
and
can't put a spirit in there.
there was also something about the Disney kids. I don't know if you've seen
Of
that.
course. Yes, of
And they were
course.
saying, how can we get an Indian who's, you know, a beautiful Indian girl who can ski? She needed to have all the these to like that was the package they were looking for a character in a Disney. And actually, anyway, this was on the news. They were showing how they were cloning it. It was astonishing to me. That was dating back from the 90s, I think.
But I just want to draw it back to where this conversation started. What is an NPC, right? So if you're cloning a cow, that cow does not have the spirit of an actual cow, like the soul, right? The sentient being. If you're cloning a human, that human will not have the soul, the God spark, the fractal of God within that clone. That is an NPC. They are the hive mind, right? So let's pull on, I just pulled on the momentum, I guess, of NPCs. I got like, yes, it's been happening. This is the chariot. It's got a lot of energy to it. It's got a lot of forward momentum to it. So this is in the past. So this is the energy of the past within the NPC. We're not talking about clones, we're talking about NPCs. So this is the momentum of the NPCs, right? Today there is a little bit of justice going on. A lot of people are kind of like wondering where all these weird people that want to kill you when you disagree with them came from. Because that's not how our inner soul reacts, right? If you have that God spark within you, you know when you're doing something wrong and right. And these people are flying off the handle, attacking people, and acting not as sentient beings, not as souls. Yeah, there are some people that are kind of like playing along the lines of not very nice stuff, but still, they still know, right? So those people are missing the God spark. So people are actually seeing that, like within the public, right? Within the collective. The Seven of Pentacles, this card right now is talking to me about um, seeing it and not wanting it. Right. I love how tarot always gives a different spin on different on the same card. So this one is like, yeah, no, I don't want that. Right. So after seeing it, they're going to come to the fact where this is the slow drip. This is the slow drip. This is the momentum of the slow drip and why the slow drip is coming out. Again with the Ten of Swords, you guys. Wow, right? So a closing, an opening, an ending, and not a very, very great ending either, right? It's going to come in with a lot of like chaos. It's going to come in with a lot of devastation in the way that I see it. But there are some flowers and roses in between, right? On the bottom. So it's a necessary kind of ending in that way of being not very sweet and not very nice. So this, you guys, I have the Eight of Wands and the Chariot. So that's a definite yes. The momentum of the NPCs are going, and I feel like the momentum of the NPCs are, in fact, people actually seeing that this is not a conspiracy theory, that this is actually taking place, and questioning the people that seem to be batshit crazy, right? And wondering why they are like that. So, yeah.
Great job. Great job. Um, yeah, now I was going to say something that was kind of relevant, but now I kind of forgot what I was going to say.
That's
Somebody
why you
bail
need
me
to
out.
interrupt me. I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. I think it's like it's a little bit of a flow. Like when we first started, it was like like it's not, it wasn't that much welcomed, I guess we could say, but like now it kind of flows into the momentum of things.
All
Like
right,
we
Marcia.
bounce off each other so much,
Yeah.
Jerry. It's
Okay.
fine.
I got what was coming through now. Um, so when you were talking about the all the good stuff that around this particular subject, I was reflecting on a discussion that I was overhearing with my friend Barbara Marciatic, and she talked about the Atlantean days of old, and a lot of what we are going through right now, of course, is karmic lessons of where we've fucked up. And a lot of the Atlantean days, if you have viewers in the room right now, young viewers, you might want to get them out. In the Atlantean days, we were hybridizing humans with animals and stuff, and it was mostly for sexual gratification and such. And so we were becoming very much distorting the beauty and the creation of goodness, and we were going down a very horrific path. And I think we've even involved ourselves in cannibalism. I know this is really dark stuff. Again, you know what? This is spirit's playground. It's not for us to judge um, the the levels of disconnection from wholeness that we as spirit um, dive into. So, but it's recognizing that we have everything within us, right? So,
Micheline, I know
I'll
you want to say something, but I have to say something about just hold that, okay? Very quick. Our meditations aligned with the Three Eye Atlas brought in codes from Lemuria and from Atlanta, and this is, and also with the fusion and branching forward with the Jupiter, right? This is the codes came in. I'm getting goosebumps for us to remember who we were in Atlanta and who we were in Lemuria, but it doesn't end there because this is our branch forward. This is our Jupiter expansion forward, right? Yes, we're going to remember who we were, what we did, what we could do, but we are going to branch forward from that into our future, right? We're not following because we messed up back then, right? We're not following that. We messed up with technology. We brought in that technology, and now we're at that crossroads with the AI coming in. But I think that we know this inside our souls, and we're using technology as a tool today and not giving our power and our consciousness away from it. Okay, I'm done. That came in really strong.
No, listen, every time Jerry said something, like it would just like a bunch of stuff was popping up about the cloning and the crossbreeding that never really stopped. And there were pictures of a lot of things that were, on the internet. Now, of course, today, what is true, what is not? It's so difficult. You have to use your discernment. But the one thing when you were talking, we are absolutely starting over. We're not going back. We're in a better timeline. And we're also we are making the wrongs right from that timeline. Okay, that's really important. And the picture, I decided to pull an oracle card. It's from the Woodland Wardens. And I love these cards because they unite, or maybe better like this way. They unite animals and plants. And this one is the snake and the fern. And it's the new beginnings card. So we're shedding our skins. And the ferns, they come in the spring. This is a new beginning for us. We're not going to go back to that. We know we messed up. We're not doing this anymore. We're going back to, we talked about a return to wonder, a return to beauty, a return to truth, a return to sanctity, a return to sacred, really,
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
I think.
Okay. I'm with you. You got my vote.
Yeah.
And though I
But
think we're
everything
all
you said, Jerry, everything you said is on point.
that.
Everything
Well,
is on point.
thank you.
Okay, wait, wait,
Uh,
wait, 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 wait,
yeah.
wait.
Go
Before we
ahead.
move forward, we need to have Carol and Barb bring on with the NPCs. Okay, so
Okay. Oh,
do you
good.
guys have
Good.
anything to
We're way beyond NPCs.
No, well, we need to let them have their
Absolutely.
read. Did you guys have anything around the NPCs, the cloning, or anything like that? I love you guys.
Thanks, Marcia.
I don't have really anything to add, but I was enjoying the conversation though.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's kind of where I was at. I did pull cards, but I'm pretty good with the flow of where things are
All right.
going.
So flow
So,
away, Jerry and
yeah,
Micheline.
go ahead.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. And that's good that we're being mindful of each other. I know we sometimes get all excited about because we're getting these downloads, so sometimes that we forget.
And
So,
also, who are we going to talk about? I have no one to talk about this subject matter.
yeah.
So
This
true.
is why, for everybody watching, this is why this group is my rock, right? Because, like, I do not talk about these things around, like, my community. And, like, a lot of the community, I did kind of send them our website has gone live. So I will put the link of our website down there. I forgot to mention that. All right. So our website has gone live. You can go check us out on our website. The link will be below. So yes, join our Telegram group for people that you can talk about these weird things with. 100%.
Okay. You want to go back to the NPCs for, I can say one thing because I pulled one card and it was the justice card.
Yeah.
And what came to mind is that, okay, as frustrating as it is, sometimes I just can't stand it myself. Like when Marsha, your frustration, I really get it. The thing is that it's pushing us forward. So
Yeah.
everything that seems like bad is actually is creating a momentum towards the positive. And I know that that's like, an objective type of way of seeing things. It doesn't mean that it's not, when you see what's going on and you want things, the momentum, you want the chariot, you want those 801s, you just want to just get to the end because it's been a while. And sometimes watching the news, it's getting old.
Yeah.
It's getting
I don't do it. Yeah.
it's tough. And but the more even the NPCs, they have their part to play because it makes us want to be more and wants us to move forward even like there's a there's a divine design. Nothing is, you know, even though the part of me that saddens me, to see so much disruption and division and chaos, when you start taking a step back, you can see that it is working itself out.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
And
NPCs, in my opinion, have contracted to do this and to stay in that lower vibration, that lower awareness before they got here. That is another aspect of the NPC. Yes, there's different kind of like thinking around that, but like there are souls that contracted to do this on a soul level before arriving onto this lifetime, this timeline, right? So compassion, they're just
I would,
playing.
I
Yeah.
would, I would, I would say yes and no. I would say on that because I'd say they have the capacity to embody their soul, but until they make that connection, I think they're going to remain just, it's like an empty shell. But you're right, it's part of the divine. And we're not going to shoot him like they do in Free Guy, where he goes around where everybody's plugging an NPC. Because I think that Free Guy, once he woke up in the show Free Guy, he started being nice to all everyone, right? It's when we are just going by the design of, well, not the design. We already said the design is perfect, and that everybody's playing a role, and that we need to respect everyone, even if they haven't currently fully embodied their higher self, right?
That's
Yeah.
a huge subject matter. I mean, we could just talk about fractals and what is a soul and the embodiment of all that and how we play it out in our lives. And that's a huge subject matter. I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't pretend to know everything about it because, we're all here learning and discovering and, your things that you thought, okay, I think I figured that out. And then you the next day go, oh no, I didn't. Like that's where humility, like you can be bold with humility, like moving forward and you're taking your chances and you're moving forward with a new way of thinking. And then the humility comes in when you go, you might have not have gotten all of it right, just part of it right. And it's okay to make that mistake and then to self-correct. It's like riding a bike, you're always self-correcting a lot of small things. And sometimes you fall off the bike. Like,
I've been wrong so many times, it's not even funny. But we all have, right? and
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 I
but
think
we
it's the
but we're
level of,
smart enough to, yeah, we're smart enough to relearn something, and we're not just holding on to a rigid belief, right?
I
It's
think
not
it's,
being wrong. It's the natural form of the growth. It's the spiral, right? You come back into a more expanded knowing of exactly the same spot. So then you go around again and you come back,
Yeah,
and
that's a good way of saying it.
to go
Yeah,
around again, you have to journey through life, through lessons, and then you come back.
and then
That's
you get
how we grow.
initiated, right?
Yeah,
it
that's how
makes
we
me
grow.
think of what you said earlier, Marcia, about the birds, that were going around, and it just makes me think of that. And that's where most people are. They're not embarking on that spiral. I think you have to get on the spiral. So that's where the NPCs are. They're
Yeah,
they're just going around in circles.
yeah, yeah. All right. Do you guys want to pick a message from Mother Earth and
Oh,
stop the recording? It's
are we
getting
doing
long.
Aquarius yet? Did you want to quickly do Age of
Let's
Aquarius?
Yeah, let's save that. This is quite
Okay.
long. I think we've been on here for an hour. And oh, okay. Another thing is, you guys, I have timestamps now. I figured it out. I figured out how you can just scroll and then go into exactly the same spot, the right spot that you want to listen to, and not listen to the other spots that you don't want to listen to, which is so great because our videos are so long and we talk about such different topics. So I figured that out. So that's another very exciting thing. We will save the Age of Aquarius for next time. And yeah, let's pull on Mother Earth and any messages she has for us for today. How, any advice and messages from our beautiful Mother Earth. I'm just gonna pick. Aw, I just want one card today. I have the message of the dog, the golden retriever. Our fur babies are so fucking magical. I have my little, I guess he's 13 months old. He's humongous. He's a German Shepherd. We got him for protection because shepherds, right? He can't protect anything. Like he will lick everybody that comes through the front door. And that's exactly the way he's supposed to be because he gives me so much love. He is so grounded. And whenever I just snuggle him, my nervous system responds. My cats, the dogs are here to protect us in this physical world. The cats are here to protect us in the ethereal realm. So, the dogs, the message of Mother Earth right now is not just with the dog, but with everything that we are protected in this physical plane for us to get that like adventure kind of like vibration, you know, to stop being scared, to have more of like a knowing that we are just going to be just fine. Whatever happens in your life, we are just going to be just fine, right? We have so much protection in this world. Even if you don't have a dog, this card did not come up for people with dogs. This came up as an energy of protection, of safety, and of knowing that within yourself. Yeah. Anybody else? I love my dog. He's so sweet.
Anybody
Nobody?
else? I did. If nobody else wants to go, I ended up getting stepping stones. And it's for me, it's focus. Stepping stones. Focus, soul agreement. So focus on yourself, your soul purpose. I love this card. Sanctuary. So it's focus on harmony, joy. Just create your own world, your own sanctuary. And just keep progressing.
Beautiful.
And keep doing your Om, chanting your chakra dhyana, right? We talk about it in all our meditations, our recent meditations. So yeah, it's really powerful. Your body starts a buzzing. Anybody else have a message from Mother Earth?
I pulled this oracle, the oracle card of what's it? Romance, the finch and the peach. And so we're falling back. We are going to create the proper relationship with Earth again. That's what's happening. And this is our utmost, this is the ultimate wish. You see 9 of Cups, and look at her head, full of roses. That's the wish. And look, perfect card, the world.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's where we're heading. Carol, did you want to go? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
No, I didn't have anything.
Jerry.
I could finish up with an oracle if you want. I've never heard of this particular plant. Cordyceps, I think it's called. Yeah, so let's see what we got with that guy. I love this deck. This is the one my daughter got for me for Christmas present. It was phenomenal. She gives the best presents, my kid, I tell you. So it says for the guidance for this particular plant is it's time to soar to new heights. Energy is available to manifest your greatest dreams. Passion in alignment with knowledge. So yeah, that's pretty good right there. I love that. Passion in alignment with knowledge. Worth repeating. Energy energy is in alignment with matter. Like the great eagle, you are blessed with the connection to the divine. You have an innate ability to live in the realm of spirit, yet remain connected and balanced within the realms of earth. From the height of the clouds, where the Great Spirit dwells, the great eagle mirrors your ability to observe with expansive awareness and achieve great sight beyond the mundane. Eagle and cordyceps represents the courage to channel the higher mind, ether, the realm of illumination, and higher consciousness. If you have been walking in the shadows, you're being asked to reconnect with the element of ether, the divine, and your higher mind. Heal your broken wings with love and seek a higher ground to observe the greatness of what you are made of.
That's quite profound.
Yeah, I really enjoy these cards. I just got a massive goosebumps.
All right, those were amazing messages from Mother Earth. We are exactly where we're supposed to be, people. Enjoy your journey, right? Um, Yeah, we came here for that. So reach out to us if you have any topics you'd like us to pull on. You can comment on any of our YouTube channels. I always save them and I try to respond to everybody. And if you want to join our Telegram group, also send a message, respond to any of those things. We also have an email and a website out that just came out yesterday. Super exciting. We're gonna do a debut. It took a lot of work. We're gonna do a debut video on it. We're working on that right now, but we just flow. That's so funny. Our website creator was like, they are metaphysical when they were like, when do you want to do this? And the other guy that got to know us was like, they are metaphysical. They don't do the time thing. So we will catch you on the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, just, you know what, like focus on your inner world, ground, because you are doing so much for Mother Earth when you do that.